Good morning, everyone. So I welcome all of you to this YIT forum Sunday meeting. Let's start with the universal invocation. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May each who feels himself as one with thee know he is therefore one with every others. Let's observe silence for a couple of minutes. Welcome again. So, as we all know that our topic is about J Krishnamurti video about real revolution, observing ourselves. So now I'll hand it over to you, Brother Harnath. Brother, over to you.
Thank you, Smita. Thank you for warm welcome. And good morning, one and all. Hope everyone is doing good in their karma. So going forward, today we are gathered here to discuss about the topic like observing ourselves, which is a part of real revolution. So I just want to ask the audience like whether we will go to the video first or we will go to the discussion. What I feel is like most of the people has already watched the video. So if we discuss more about that video, we will get some new ideas and new opinions or something new will come out of the discussion. If it is not like that, we will go to the video and we will discuss on the subject. If you have not watched yet, can somebody confirm it?
I think probably we should watch the video if you all agree.
Sure. Then we will go to the video first and we will have this video and later on we will continue the discussion. Okay. Can I ask the more technical support? Could you please start the video, Smitaji?
I'll make you co-host so that you can do it.
Is it possible for you to play the video? Please play the video.
I don't have in my laptop actually.
Mm-hmm. Who is taking care of this technical part?
It's me only.
Could you please play the video?
I don't have that video in my laptop. 1 second.
I have the video, but let me share the screen. If I can.
Brother Harnath, in case it is not possible to play the video, perhaps one of you could summarize what is.
So we have gone through the video. I think everyone is clear about it. What he is talking about. Like, the problem with the video is it involves a lot of information. What all the things he wants to try to tell, it is merged up into one video. Like, so if you take the video, he has spoken about a lot of things. Like, he's talking about the observer is the observed. He's talking about the choiceless awareness. He's again talking about how to observe and what is freedom, what is a religious mind. So we can't take each and every concept, right? So let me make it more simple, like just take the heading like observing ourselves. So I just want to keep the discussion forward. Just I would like to say something like, for suppose if you go to a dentist uh, for a toothache, maybe he will tell you like taking too much of sugar is very bad for your teeth, and he may even show you the great deal of evidence in support of his statement. But you like the sugar and you will take it. So explanation is one thing and direct action is quite another. And if you observe in the end of the at the end of the video, he clearly mentioned like attending meetings, discussions, or reading books or merely a stimulus, then you are completely dependent. So when you are dependent on something, that is not at all a freedom. So I just want to make everyone active, like just have some this process of indulge into brown study or go through navel gazing. Then you will know by yourself, like how to observe myself or how to observe yourself. So the moment you are observing yourself, you will get some kind of self-awareness. But here my question is, what is the instrument we are using to observe ourselves? See, for suppose if you want to observe a space or if you want to observe something, we definitely use it, we will observe it some instrument, or we will observe it by some kind of entity. We can call it as a senses, or we can say it is by thought, or take whatever thing. For human being, we majorly use thought, we majorly use senses for to observe. So are you aware of your own awareness? The first question is, what is the instrument of observing? So are you aware of your own unawareness, the actions, whatever you do? Are you aware of that? Are you aware of your sleep? Are you aware of your dreams? Through constant and self-awareness, then only you will get the self-knowledge, which brings you a right way of, I can say, right kind of knowledge. So I just want to open the discussion form. So before going, if you want to go forward, sorry, if you want to go very far, we must begin the very near. So my question for the audience is like, how you observe the things, with what instrument you will observe. That was the first question. And the second part is like, are you aware of your own unawareness? Are you aware of your daily actions, the way you are speaking, the way you are looking, the way you are thinking, the way you are behaving, the way you are moving your arms, everything? Are you aware of each and every action of you? When you are aware of each and every action, that awareness will bring you something different entirely in you. And if you want to know the concept of the observer is the observed, it will take a lot of time for you to know, to explain that, because we can't explain it, the concept like the observer is the observer. It is something we have to know by ourselves. If I explain that, it will again merely a kind of concept, and it will gives you some additional knowledge, which is not at all useful. So I just want to ask the open the discussion form. If anybody have any questions, or if anybody wants to add something, or if anybody have any concerns about the topic, please go forward. You can raise the hand, or you can post your question in the chat box. You can start the video and you can have the discussion. I request everyone to participate in the discussion.
So, brother Harnath,
Yeah.
since no one is venturing into this difficult subject, I will, with your permission, attempt to say something, and hopefully that will trigger some more interesting discussion. So my my observation is that to observe yourself is quite a difficult task. Probably it may be impossible to observe yourself. And even when we have to, in this physical world, we have to observe ourselves. We have to have the aid of a mirror. And without a mirror, very difficult to even know how we look. And similarly, of course, we have now, from science, we have discovered many things, like we are just now observing ourselves in this Zoom meeting. I am observing myself as well as I am observing some of you. Now, in this, so I think this will be a very difficult task when we are able to observe our own emotional body, mental body, and Buddhic body ourselves. And to ward off this difficulty, at the feet of the master has given a, has recommended a method which says that whenever you are doing something, imagine that what the master will say when he sees you functioning that way. When we come to a difficult decision making, we have to choose between selfishness and the right path. And many times we are unable to take a decision. So the recommendation of at the feet of the master, which again is by actually written down by J Krishnamurti on the basis of dictation given by Master KH. So there it is mentioned that whenever you are in difficulty or whenever you want to examine your own conduct, just think of what if the master is saying, what he will say about you. And if one is very sincere in one's thoughts, he will get the right answer. Suppose I am going on the road and I find a bag full of $1,000. No one is looking. So the first thought will come in my mind that I should just take it and use it for myself. The second thought may come that it is wrong. I should deposit it with the police, and so that if there is any evil motive behind this bag of full of dollars, police can find out. Then if I am in difficulty and then I try to remember master, what master will say about it, then my way is clear. Master will say, no, you go to police and make a complaint. In the same way, in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, it is the chapter on Bhakti Yoga. It is the 12th chapter, and the shloka number 8, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna that place thy mind in me, into me, let thy reason enter. Then without doubt, thou shalt abide in me hereafter. That is, he is also suggesting that try to merge your mind and try to see what I will think about you when you are about to do a task. And finally, in Patanjali Yoga Sutras, the last.
Please make it more simpler because we have very less time.
I think I will stop here. Let others speak. These two are sufficient.
Yes.
Yeah, can I speak?
Yeah, Vimal, you can.
Yeah, basically, I mean, firstly, I don't think that the statement, the observer is the observed, is a difficult statement to understand. It just means that what you are seeing is a reflection of what you really are. So whatever you see outside shows your tendencies, your nature, your evaluation. So that is why observer is the observed. It's not a very difficult statement to understand. The other part is observing self is a form of meditation, because as per what Krishnamurti is talking about, which is when you are in this kind of when you are not reacting, when you are not coming from any kind of conditioning, and just watching what is, whatever it is, anything, whether it's a cloud, whether it's a tree, whatever it is, you're watching it. That is a kind of meditation, and we call nirbij samadhi, you can call it, or whatever. But in that meditation, you get to understand what is. Now, I was just trying to understand that, okay, when I am seeing something, let's say I'm seeing a tree, now I am looking at it, or a cloud, let's take a cloud. Some thoughts come to my mind that, okay, beauty of idea, some kind of thoughts do come. Then what are those thoughts? Are they not, is there not some kind of new kind of conditioning, or what is it in that when we are observing something even without any conditioning, I mean, we are still left with only thoughts, because that is what it leads to. Thoughts is a constant thing. There is no such thing as a complete thoughtless moment. I mean, so that's one question I would like, I mean, your comments or anybody's comments on this.
So see, just the thing is if you want to, it is not an easy topic like the observer is the observed. If you say it is a very easy, because the tree is different. I am different from the tree. The tree and me are not same. The microphone what I am using is not me. But you were telling, when the observer is the observed, there is no observer at all. The observer itself is an image which we have created. And this image is seeing the other image. The relationship between the outer world and the inner world is the relationship between two images. So when you aware of your own conditioning, that I got conditioned for this, it will again become a condition. It will again become turned into a condition. For suppose, let me take an example. For suppose if you are conditioned as a Hindu, so when you are aware of that conditioning, I'm a Hindu, and you want to get rid of that conditioning, will become again a different conditioning, isn't it? But what he is trying to tell is, don't react, don't do any justification, or don't condemning it. What he is telling is, just watch it, just observe it. The moment of observation, the pure observation itself is freedom. When you are reacting, the state of when you are reacting, it is not freedom. For suppose you are anger, just watch your angerness in you. If you are greedy, just watch it, the greediness. If what we are doing is out of the knowledge we had acquired, out of the conditioning we had acquired, we are trying to become non-violent. We are inventing some new concepts like not to be like that. We are just opposing the concept, or we are justifying it, or we are accepting it, or we are rejecting it. So what all the things
My question to you is that when we are in that state of just pure observation, is that a new kind of conditioning, or how is it not a new kind of conditioning?
What do you mean by
Because in
conditioning?
that also we get some thoughts. Correct.
Right. So here the question is, what do you mean by conditioning?
Conditioning is a pattern of thinking, one channel.
Exactly. So condition is nothing but a pattern of things. What is the pattern? The pattern here is repeating the same thing of knowledge that we acquired. Right? In this pattern, what is happening?
You may create a new pattern, but it is still a pattern.
Exactly.
I
if
create
you
a
are
new pattern,
reacting,
which is not my old pattern, but it is still a pattern.
That's what I'm trying to tell. See, if you are reacting to that pattern, if you are reacting to that conditioning, that will become again a new conditioning. But what I'm telling is just to observe it and be aware of that conditioning. Don't react, don't condemn it, don't justify it, don't accept it. Just be aware of that. Then what is that is not at all conditioning. That is pure observation only you are doing.
No.
Right?
Let's do
The
something.
conditioning itself will go freed out.
No, wait. You are talking about the past. Now I'm saying there is something in the present. A thought process comes to my mind which has nothing to do with the past. It's a new thought process, new observation. I'm making a new, fresh observation about a person. Let us concretize it. It's a person, and I made a fresh observation. And I have gone through my mind. It has nothing to do with the past. Something the person is presently acting, and then I have certain thoughts about that person. Now, how is that not conditioning?
The moment
That's
you
the
said
new conditioning.
the moment you said thoughts are coming. Thought, what is thought? Thought is exactly the past. Thought is not something in present. Thought is what is thought? Thought is nothing but memory. Right? When you have memory, when you have thoughts, exactly, then definitely that is a past. That thing is exactly the past.
How can we stay in a thoughtless state?
That's the trap
Are
of
you
your
saying
thought.
that is the ideal is the thoughtless state?
Sorry?
Are you saying that the ideal, the state of observation or choiceless observation or choiceless awareness is a thoughtless state?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell you, right? See, for suppose if you have thought, what is thought? Thought is memory. Memory is past. Okay. When you are observing without any thought, without any condemnation, without any reaction, only what happening is the distance between the observer and the observed remains only pure observation. There is nothing else. In that observation, what comes into picture is the space and the time. Okay. When we have only that pure observation, there is no place for thought to act into that observation.
No, I disagree. There is some.
Let me finish.
No, I don't agree with your viewpoint. It is not pure observation. There is an insight. You have a sudden and clear insight.
When thought works to stop.
An understanding which is not coming from the space of words. Yeah.
Vimalji, let me finish it. So what I'm trying to tell you is when the thought stops doing the action, then what comes is insight. With that insight only you can observe, not by thought. If you are using the instrument of thought, that is not at all observation. That is completely, again, it become a new condition. What? Thank you. Anybody wants to throw some ideas about this? So that's what I'm trying to tell here is if you are aware of your own unawareness. See, if you take in a day, are you aware of every action you are doing? Are you aware of each and every feeling, emotion, or the thoughts that are coming into your mind. If you are aware of each and every action, that awareness will create you something. It creates something, a new revolution, inward revolution in you. So the instrument we are using for this pure observation is inside what I feel. So that's the reason I asked the question, what is the instrument we are using for this pure observation in the beginning? So many people think like the instrument is thought or the instrument is senses. It is not the instrument for pure observation. When you say the observer is the observed, there is no observer at all. Even we have discussed this when we are discussing about the movement of fear. Somebody asked me question, who in you is feeling fear? That's a very wonderful, tremendous question, because when you ask that question, who in me is creating this conflict? Who in me is feeling that fear? It is not, you are again creating some new entity. But what I'm trying to tell you is, fear is you, that greed is you, that envy is you. There is no some X or Y in you who is uh, feeling this greed or feeling this fear. Fear is itself you. When I say that fear is me, what remains is only the observed. There is no observer at all, and that only the observation remains in the picture. That's what he is trying to convey to the people.
So just wanted to add
Yeah.
my thoughts of the topic in discussion. Your first question was, what instrument do we use to be aware of our awareness, correct? So what I feel is awareness gives us a good a potential or an ability to there is no being aware of your awareness, because you cannot use the same tool to look at itself. But what we are really attempting is to be aware of the result of thought or the result of time that has on our life. For example, thoughts, emotions, feelings, all of this is a result of time, is a result of some past activity. Conditioning is also a result of thought. All aspects of time is what manifests in our brain, and in our day-to-day life to survive, we utilize our awareness to kind of masterfully architect the way we use these conditionings that, or the result time has put through to actually live through our life. At one point, though, we get too serious about them. Like it is fine to look at the clouds, rejoice, say, oh, that shape looks like a car or something like that. It is good. But once we get too serious about the shapes, once you're like, oh, I'm only right, whatever I'm saying is true. Once we put an inherent conditioning and kind of try to pressurize others uh, by giving memory as a fact, by saying, oh, this person has considered such this thing in this manner, so he has been successful. So we are giving ideals for confirmation, and therefore people, instead of utilizing pure action and observation, they become prisoners to thought and time and ideals. So I guess, in a sense, to be aware of our awareness would be much more formulated into being to be aware of the process of time, to strive for a memoryless existence. But this memorylessness must not become an ideal again. To not say, oh, I want to be memoryless, because that in itself is also another condition. Saying, oh, I attended this discussion, they said being memoryless is good, so I'll try to be memoryless. That should not be the case. As JK says, it is more in the fact of identifying the disorder in the first place, to not try to find the answer, but to try to find out what is wrong. When you totally, completely observe what is wrong, you will automatically come away from it. If you know you are fear, then who are you to experience what is you yourself? Just because you are fear, I don't think I'm formulating it correctly, but that is what I wanted to add. Being aware of our, yes, sir.
The thing is, if you think like fear is me, there is no observer at all. But when
Yeah.
you think fear is different from me, you just start trying to suppress it, or you just start trying to control it, or you just start trying to make it more something complicated, right? So
Very true. Like
that
whenever,
again is some
if
kind
you're
of
adhered to a conditioning, only then you would feel the fear is different from you.
what exactly the conditioning is. If you see this, the past, okay, the past which is modifying in the present will become the future.
Hmm.
That is nothing but conditioning. The past which is modifying in the present will become the future. That is what exactly conditioning. So if you got conditioned to that, and if you want to get rid of your own conditioning, then that will become again a condition, because we will be very careful about the trap that is going creating by the thought. If one is aware of the trap that is creating by thought, he will completely enter into a different scenario. He will completely enter into a different world, I can say. So if you want to understand the immeasurable, the mind must be extraordinary, quiet and still. What JK always used to tell this. To attain that quietness, to attain that stillness to mind, we should be free from the conditioning. We should be free from the past. We should be in a state of not knowing. We should not see the things from the past knowledge. Knowledge is nothing but the past. When you are going through the knowledge, when you are going, if you are free from the known, that's what he always used to tell, freedom from the known. Then you will find out what the unknown is, what the unexplained laws are.
So, but also it is quite important to recognize that one must not want to be stillness, or one must not want to achieve the immeasurable in the first place, which because it also becomes an ideal, but simply because it is the way to be. Like it is the most optimal way to be, and it must be a natural process. If a
That's what
flower is blooming, one must not try to pluck the petal out of it and force it to bloom, but rather let it happen naturally and not stop.
don't condemn it, don't justify it. That's what I'm telling you. Just
Hmm.
be, just being, just being.
Hmm.
That state of be in being, or that state of observation will create a kind of complete silence in your mind, isn't it? When you are not condemning it, when you are not justifying, when you are not accepting, when there is no reaction, when there is no thought, that pure observation is creating kind of silence in your mind, isn't it? And that very silence will help you to gain more energy. When you got more energy, you will know what is there in the from far away from you. So to know the far, we must begin very near. When that silence will give you a lot of tremendous energy to go far. And what I'm explaining is not fact, it is my feeling. You have to explain, you have to feel by yourself. Don't depend on anything. What JK always used to tell, don't depend on the speakers, or don't depend on any kind of knowledge, any books, discussions. That's what he always tells. If you see yourself, that's more than enough. And that is the real spirituality. So anybody wants to add something more to this topic? I can see a lot of new faces here today. That's If that's it, then we will close this session by closing prayer. Smita ji, could you please help me in the closing prayer?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining, and thank you, Harnath ji, and whoever participated in the discussion, and all our participants also. I thank all of you. Let's close the session with the closing prayer. Asato ma Satgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amrutam Gamaya Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchit Dukha Bhave. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, everyone. And now the session is closed. And next week, same time, we will meet and with the study session about At the Feet of the Master with a new speaker.
Thank you, Smita
Thank
ji.
you.
Thank you for
Thank you,
every
Harnath ji, and
participant.
thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a happy Sunday. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you too.